When we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have is our body. It's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to make sure that we do everything we can to have a good health so that we can live a longer and fruitful life. And people need to understand that they are the master of their life and they've got the power to change whatever they want.
Welcome to Sheila's Take, your go-to podcast for thoughtful insights on love, faith, health, fitness, relationships, and navigating today's challenges through a spiritual perspective. Join me, Sheila Dunbar, as we explore various aspects of life with a mindful and godly approach. Tune in for engaging discussions on all things meaningful and transformative. Welcome back to Sheila's Take, and today I am thrilled to welcome Olivier Mankondo, a dynamic professional speaker, author, and dedicated weight loss wellness coach. Olivier's journey into wellness began in 2016 when he embraced plant-based nutrition, leading to an extraordinary personal transformation. By eliminating animal products from his diet, he managed to cure himself of numerous ailments, including high blood pressure, severe headaches, and joint pains, all without medication. Astoundingly, he lost 35 kilos or 77 pounds in just 9 months, transforming his lifestyle without the need for surgery or strenuous exercise. Olivier's transformative journey didn't just stop with him. He successfully shared the benefits of plant-based nutrition with his wife and brother, both of whom reversed their chronic illness and achieved optimal health. Motivated by these remarkable outcomes, Olivier is passionate about spreading the powerful message of plant-based living. Through his work, he continues to help people worldwide in losing weight and overcoming chronic diseases by adopting healthier lifestyles. So get ready to be inspired by Olivier. Welcome, Olivier. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And I'm really, really grateful to be on your show to be able to share my story. Thank you very much.
I love talking about health and wellness and fitness, and you fit right into my program. So I thank you so much. Thank you. But let's talk a little bit more about your personal journey, right? Can you share more about the moment or program that inspired you to transition to a plant-based diet?
Yeah, so what's happened is that I need to go back a little bit where I came from. So basically, I was born and in Africa, in Central Africa, and over there when I was growing up, there was no computer games, there were no video games. So we were forced to play outside, running around, climbing trees and stuff like that. So we were always in movement. And because of that, I was very lean and I was not too much exposed to animal product, dairy product, and processed food. So I was very lean until I left my country. I went to South Africa and then I came to the UK and then my problem started.
The problem, you call it the problem started? Okay.
Yeah.
The problem started. All right.
Yeah. So I was exposed to a lot of animal products. So for example, all my meals that I was having, they will have some kind of animal product. For example, for my breakfast, I will have salami, bacon, hot dog, sausages, and stuff like that. At noon, I would have, for example, fish, chicken, and at night it will be the same thing. And I really, really developed some very bad eating habits. So for example, until midnight, I will still have my bottle of Coca-Cola with some biscuits, some cakes, and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's why at my heaviest, I was 220 pounds. And because of that, I'm starting to have loads and loads of chronic diseases. So, for example, I was suffering from high blood pressure. And people should know that high blood pressure is a very dangerous disease because 50% of people who suffer from heart attack, cardiovascular diseases, and problem with the kidneys, it's usually because of the high blood pressure. And I even remembered there was a day where at 3 a.m., my blood pressure went through the roof, and my wife had to call the ambulance to come and pick me up because the situation was bad. And I was having as well massive headaches every day or every other day.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and a lot of dental problems with my bad eating habits. And I was always tired. For example, on the day that I had to go to work, I will drag myself out of bed. And on the day where I was off work, I will sleep until 1 p.m. So that was very, very bad. So that's how I was just before started my transformation.
Did you notice the changes in your diet and how it impacted your lifestyle beyond the health benefits?
Yes. So, for example, when I changed that, yes, I did find a lot of benefit when I changed my diet. For example, all my chronic diseases went away. So I had no problems anymore. My blood pressure was completely gone. And this happened 4 months into me changing my diet. So exactly what's happened? Why did I change my diet? It's because one day I was just watching a program on YouTube, because before that I went to see my doctor, and basically there was nothing to do. They just told me that I will be on medication for the rest of my life.
Yes.
And I didn't want that. So one day I was just watching a program on YouTube, and there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by just stopping eating animal product, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And because my health was pretty bad, so I said to myself, okay, I'll try that. So it was a Wednesday that I watched the program. On Thursday, I came back to work. I had my last meal of meat, and on Friday, I went cold turkey. And basically, 4 months into me changing my diet, I went back to my doctor, and my blood pressure was completely gone. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 77 pounds, and all my chronic diseases went away. And since 2016 that I've changed my way of eating, I've not been sick a single day, not even a headache.
Really?
And for the past 9 years, I've not taken a single pill, not even a paracetamol or aspirin. And because of that as well, I've been able to slow down my aging process, because a lot of people, when they see me, they think that I'm in my late 20s, but I'm actually 54. So
what's the difference between a plant-based diet and being a vegetarian? Is it the same thing?
no, it's not the same thing, because when you are a vegetarian, they stop eating all animal products. So they don't eat fish, chicken, meat, and all that, but they continue to have dairy products. So for example, yogurt, cheese, ice cream, and stuff like that. But when you're on a plant-based nutrition, basically you don't eat any animal product, you don't eat no dairy product, and basically for the processed food, you eat very little. And that's basically what I'm doing.
Okay, because I know a lot of times I go into the supermarket and I'll see, okay, plant-based, and it'll be like plant-based chicken or plant-based beef. Is that what you would say you would eat, or you would stay away from that?
Yeah, so basically all these plant-based meat and stuff like that, they are, at the end of the day, they are still processed food. And processed food are really, really bad for the human mechanism, because they've got loads of additive, coloring, flavoring, preservative, which are chemical substances not recognized by the body. And they create havoc. They create loads and loads of problems in the human body. So what I tend to do, especially for people that I coach, I tend to ask them to eat this plant-based chicken, plant-based meat, just as a transition food, because a lot of people, they cannot just stop eating animal products. It's too much for them. So as a transition food, they can still use this food, but in the long run, they will have to reduce that to a very minimum, because like I've just said, at the end of the day, they are processed food, and they are not good for the human mechanism. So for me, I will stick to whole food, which is God's food, the food that you found in nature, and that's what we are designed to eat.
I went through similar journeys. Funny because in 2016, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And from 2016 until I want to say 2022, yes, 2022, late 2022, early 2023, I was on, of course, I had, of course, the high blood pressure, and I did take medicine for that. And that was one of the things, oh, you'll be on there. Once you start taking that, you're on there for the rest of your life. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you can't tell me that.
Hmm.
I was taking the high blood pressure medicine. I was doing the, the shots, the insulin shots nightly. I would take a one day a week shot, and then I was taking a pill 3 times a
Yeah.
day, every day for the diabetes. And I'm like, this is crazy. And
Yeah.
I changed my diet because I'm not going to lie to you, I was eating a lot of processed foods. I was always running around and working. And I started with the McDonald's and this and chicken, everything I purchased, I went out and bought it.
Yeah.
And once I started to change, I went into a transformation, I think April of 20, I want to say 2023. And
Mhm.
that whole year, I lost my weight. I started working out and I went down because I was 230 pounds, and I went down almost between almost 80, 85 pounds I lost. And again, I changed my entire diet, but I still eat meat. So that's why, but sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Let me try a little bit of this, and I'll go out and I'll see like plant-based. I'm like, let me try it. So that's why I'm very interested in that because but I do love my meat. I
Yeah.
love my chicken. I love my chicken and I love my fish. Beef is okay, but I love my chicken and I love my fish. So, I was just wondering, are there any challenges you faced? Because I know I faced a couple. It was kind of hard, but did you face any challenges switching to a plant-based diet? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
Yeah. So what's happened is that when I changed my diet, basically, like I said, I went cold turkey. And the
Hmm.
following week, my symptoms got worse. So
Wow.
for 3 days, I had massive headaches that I never had in my entire
Hmm.
life. I had more cold sore on my lips. I had more joint pain, more abscesses. So basically, my situation went worse. And my wife even asked me to stop because that it was really unbearable. But I said, no, I'm going to continue.
Hmm.
And what people need to understand is that when you change your way of eating just abruptly, like I did, the body can find a lot of new energy and will try to get rid of all the toxins which are buried into your tissues. And
Hmm.
that's why you can have all those detox symptoms. And that's why most people, when things like that happen, they will just stop and they will say, no, what I'm doing is wrong. But that's how the body detoxifies itself. But for me, luckily, I was persistent, and after a week,
Yeah.
all these symptoms completely disappeared. I had lots of energy, mental clarity, and that's the problem that I faced when I changed my eating habit. But because I really I saw the change, and I think after a week I lost already 11 pounds. And for me, I said, okay, I will continue that, and that's why I really stick to the change, and I was not tempted anymore to go back
Hmm.
to eating animal product and stuff because I remembered when I was still eating all this food, I would have maybe the flu for maybe a week. I would be bedridden. I will not be able to go out. I will
Yeah.
have my nose will be full of cold and stuff. And all these, I didn't want to go back to that. And when I remembered the way I was suffering when I was sick, I said, no, I will stick to my new way of eating. And that's what gave me really the courage to continue on that way and not go back to eating animal product, dairy product, and most
Yeah.
processed food.
Wow. I mean, you were literally because it sounds like like you said, you were going through a cold turkey or detox. What you're describing is something like, I guess, someone who's going through like some kind of withdrawals would go through, correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How did that change your influence, like your mental and your emotional well-being?
Yeah, so for example, for that, like I said, I was starting to have a lot of mental clarity, a lot of
Hmm.
energy. And for example, I was not a spiritual guy, but since changing my way of eating, I am more spiritual. I'm starting to do meditation
Hmm.
uh, and stuff like that. So I've completely changed. And for example, I used to binge on TV and stuff like that but since 2017 I've stopped completely watching TV. I don't watch TV anymore because there's lots of negativity. When you watch TV, they will tell you, for example, I don't know, there's a war somewhere or there was a robbery. It's always negative. And I
Wow.
don't want to feed myself with all these things.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why I've completely stopped watching TV. Now, what I'm mostly watching is YouTube, and I choose what I watch. So that's all the changes that have been through just
yeah.
by changing my way of eating as well.
Wow. That's amazing. Oof. So
Yeah.
no, because I'm and you don't exercise.
Uh, I don't exercise in the sense that, or like people will go to the gym, they will work very hard and stuff like that. No, for me, what I do in the morning when I wake up, I will just do 10 minutes of stretching. That's all
Hmm.
I do. And then 3 times a week, I will go for a walk. And on Sunday, I will go for a 2 hour walk. That's all I do. I don't, so to lose all these weight, I've never been to the gym, never.
You've
So I
never
just
been.
do, no,
Wow.
just stretching exercise in the morning and I go for a walk. That's all I do.
Mm. Do you indulge in like sweets or anything like that, or you that's even cut out of your diet?
No, sweet, since 2016, I never had any sweet, no sweet, no soft drinks. But I do eat sometimes a little bit, for example, of vegan chocolate
Hmm.
or vegan ice cream. But for example, if I have to look for this entire year, I had maybe 3 times vegan ice cream. So it's a very to a minimum. Or for example, I don't normally drink the juices that they sell in supermarket. I
Yeah.
normally don't drink that. But for example, if I go to a friend's house or if I go to a party, yeah, I can make some exception and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But usually it's not something that I eat or drink.
So what's a daily meal for Olivier?
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, so basically it has changed over the years because now I eat only twice a day, and 98% of what I eat is raw food. So I only eat 2% of what I eat is cooked. But in the past, when I started this process, I was eating 3 times a day. No, I always eat two. When I started this process, I completely stopped eating 3 times a day. So it's always been 2 times a day. So at noon, I will eat fruit. It's only fruit that I eat at noon.
Hmm.
And at 6 p.m., I will have, for example, in the past, I will have something like maybe rice with mushrooms, or I would have plantain bananas with beans and spinach,
Hmm.
or I will have maybe sweet potatoes with cauliflower, just things like that with tofu, just
Hmm.
stuff that comes from the ground. But for the last 3 years, uh, like I said, most of my food is raw. So I have 14 meals in a day, in a week. So at noon, like I said, it's always fruit. And 2 times a week, I will have some salads.
Hmm.
And then I will have maybe a little bit of steamed vegetables, a little bit of potatoes or mushroom and stuff like that. But that's how I eat currently.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I know you're a wellness coach, right? So
Yeah.
What are some common misconceptions people often have about plant-based diets?
Yeah, so the first thing that the misconception that they have is that they ask themselves, where are they going to get the protein from? Because we won't be told that you get the protein from meat,
Exactly.
all the animal product.
Mm-hmm.
But usually the question that I ask these people is that when you look, for example, at the gorilla, with whom we share 99% of the same DNA, but what do gorilla eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender root. Gorillas, they don't eat meat, but they still have all the proteins. You
Mm-hmm.
look at the cow, they don't eat meat, they still have protein. You look
Yeah.
at the giraffe, the rhino, all these herbivores, they don't eat meat, but they still have the protein, which means that me as well, by not eating meat, I can still have my protein. And as you can see, for the past 8 years that I've not had any animal product, I'm not deficient in protein because you can find all your protein in all the fruits. You look, for example, at legumes like beans,
Mm-hmm.
lentils, chickpeas. They are full and full of protein. So
Yeah.
that's one of the misconceptions that people have. Second one is that people think that when you go on a plant-based nutrition, you will be weak. You will be all the time lethargic and stuff like that, which is completely false. Because when you eat the fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds, they are living food.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, all this food, they've got lots of enzymes, they've got nutrients, they've got vitamins. And when you eat this food, the body will not spend a lot of energy digesting all this food. So basically, all you will have a lot of energy. But when you look, for example, at when you eat a very heavy meal, especially with lots of animal products, you will see that maybe after 10, 15 minutes, you start dozing off because all the blood needs to leave your head
Yeah.
and go to your belly area to start the digestion process.
Mm-hmm.
But when you eat all these plant-based food, basically the body doesn't spend a lot of energy digesting all these foods, and that's why you'll be. It's basically difficult for you to become weak and stuff like that. You'll be very energetic and stuff like that. And for me, for example, I'm 54, and
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that I cannot do that I was able to do when I was 20.
Sheila's gonna come to you. I wanna do plant-based nutrition. How would you coach me to commit to this and maintain this lifestyle?
Yeah. So usually what I will do, I will introduce you to my three-step weight loss and wellness coaching, which has got three process. The first one, it's going to be the mindset, because the mindset is very, very important. Without
Yeah.
the mindset, it's going to be practically impossible to succeed. And that's why you will see a lot of people, when we arrive at the end of the year, they will take their New Year's resolution. Some people will say, okay, I'm going to lose weight. Some
Mm-hmm.
people will say, I'm going to stop smoking.
Yeah.
And other people will say, I'm going to stop drinking. They will do that for 2 or 3 weeks, maximum 4 weeks, and then they revert
Mm-hmm.
back to their
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
habit. Why? It's because they don't have the right mindset. Usually people try to use the willpower, but
Mm-hmm.
with the willpower, you are mostly you're going to fail. But what people need to use is the why power. You need to find a good reason for you to do that. For
Yeah.
example, for me, like I just said, the way I was feeling
Mm-hmm.
when I was sick, I didn't want to go back to that same feeling. And that's what
Yeah.
gave me the motivation to stay on track. And with that mindset as well, I will instill you with a winning mindset. You will have to believe that change is possible. Because as soon as you say that it's going to be difficult, that you're not going to be able to do it, your mind will make sure that it's happened the way you want it. So you need to start seeing that it's possible for you to change.
Mm-hmm.
And you need as well to surround yourself with a supportive community, because when you do that on your own, usually it's difficult.
Yeah.
This will be the first thing. The second thing is that I will introduce you to this plant-based nutrition step by step, slowly. I will not introduce you like me to go cold turkey.
No cold
This is
turkey.
not
Okay.
good. No, this is not good.
Hmm.
So I will start, for example, to introduce. If you, for example, you've got the habit of having snacks, you will
Hmm.
have to stop that and continue, for example, to have your 3 meals. And for example, you will start reducing your intake of animal product. For example, if you eat animal product for 7 days, you will go down to 5 days a week. For 2 days, you're not going to eat that. You will start reducing all the dairy products and processed food. So I will go gradually until
Hmm.
you stop that. But basically, if you're not ready, because I don't want to be dogmatic, I don't want to force people to stop completely with animal product if they can't. But what I will ask them is to reduce that considerably.
Okay.
That's what I will do. And
Okay.
the last step will be to introduce intermittent fasting.
Mm.
Because in the society, we have been brainwashed to believe that we need to constantly eat. And
Yeah.
you will see some people will have 4, 5, 6 meals a day, which
Well,
is very, very bad.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I heard, that you're supposed to eat like six small meals every day, daily, you know?
That's completely false.
Yeah. I mean,
Why?
I
Why is
don't
that?
do that, but that's what I heard
Yeah.
in the past, you
Yeah,
know?
that's why we've been told. Yes, if you do your
Yeah.
research, people will tell you that yes, you need to constantly have something to eat. But why is it wrong? Because 80% of your energy goes to digest the food. 80%. So
Mm.
every time when you have something to eat, the body will have to digest the food and it will spend 80% of its energy, which is not good. And what you need to understand as well is that every time when you have something to eat, the body will have to produce insulin. So you will have lots of peaks of insulin, and insulin will age you faster because of the cellular aging.
Yeah.
And something as well is that when you are the body is producing insulin, it cannot produce at the same time the human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone is responsible for the growth of a lot of your tissues. So when you are producing insulin, the body won't be able to produce the human growth hormone, which is not right. But when you are
Hmm.
not digesting food, the body will do that. And something as well is that the body can only heal and cleanse when you're not digesting food. It's like, for example, if you've got your car, you bring that to the garage, you can't drive it at the same time. So the
Right.
body can only cleanse and heal when you're not digesting. And when the body is healing and cleansing, it will get rid of all the disease and stuff like that. But when you're constantly eating, the body won't have the chance to heal and cleanse. And when you do intermittent fasting as well, so when you're not eating constantly, the body will go through a process which is called autophagy, which it's a process where the body eats dead and dying tissues. And by just
Hmm.
doing that, incorporating intermittent fasting, you will be able to reinforce your immune system. You'll be able to live longer, and you'll be able to
Hmm.
reverse your aging process. And there's even a study or an experiment which was done. They are a group of rats. They divided them into 2 groups. One group they were overfed, and the other group were fed less. And at the end of the experiment, they were able to see that the rats that was less fed were able to live up to 50% more than the
Wow.
overfed rat.
Wow.
So when they say that you need to eat constantly, that's completely wrong.
That's
It's not
wrong.
the good thing to do. Yes.
But yeah, I
So
mean, yeah.
the less frequently you eat, the longer you're going to live.
Yeah. I have a schedule where usually on the weekends I'll fix like a breakfast, and it's still not a big breakfast, but usually during the weekdays I'll drink a lot of water in the morning. I'll have a shake. A lot of I'll eat fruit and things like that, and I will have a lunch and a dinner. But usually in the morning I try to I'm drinking water constantly. I mean, that's one of the things I drink. I used to drink a lot of soft drinks, a lot of uh juices and things like that. That has been cut out altogether. I only drink water or a little flavored water. Um but I'm curious as to how did you introduce your wife and brother to the idea of a plant-based lifestyle? Because I'm thinking in my head, my husband's like a meat and potatoes and pasta type person, and I don't eat the kind of stuff you eat, you know? So how did you get your wife and your brother to change their lifestyle like that?
Yeah, so for my wife, like I said, when I started this process, I told them that I'm going to do that myself. I'm not going to force anybody to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Right.
So when I changed, like I said, she told me to stop because of all the detox symptoms, but I persisted. She saw that after a week, I was able to lose already 11 pounds, and she's starting to really see that I had loads of energy. I was not tired like I used to
Mm-hmm.
be. And 2 weeks into me changing, she said that, okay, I'm going to do that as well. She said
Two
to herself
weeks.
that, yes, after 2 weeks, she said she will do that as well. And for her, it was even better. She was able to lose 99 pounds just by doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. And for our kids, after a month, we sat our kids and we told them that, okay, me and mom, we are eating plant-based, and in the house, we're going to eat plant-based, all of us. And they were very, very unhappy. They didn't want that. But today, they thank me for that
Yeah.
because one of my sons, he had eczema for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw doctors, they prescribed all sorts of creams, but there were no changes. But when we adopted this plant-based nutrition, it only took 2 weeks for his entire eczema to disappear completely.
Yeah.
And I had as well my daughter. She used to have the flu maybe 2 to 3 times in a year. And sometimes she will even lose her voice. But now it's completely gone. And for my brother, I didn't tell him that I changed my way of eating. And
Mm-hmm.
he came to visit me and he saw that I lost a lot of weight and he was very intrigued and he said, what have you done and stuff? So I explained to him what I
Mm-hmm.
did and he stayed at my house for 2 or 3 days. And
Mm-hmm.
for that time, there was no meat and stuff. And just by doing that, he's starting to feel good.
Better.
And he said
Yeah.
that when he went back to his house, he threw all the animal product, all the stuff, and he studied that as well. And for him, he was able to lose 70 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is really amazing.
Yeah.
If you know someone who's struggling with chronic disease and is skeptical about the dietary changes, what would you say to encourage them to try a plant-based approach?
Yeah. So what I will tell them is that, for example, most people, what they will do, they will go to the doctors, they will prescribe medication and stuff. But for my experience, I know that when you take the medication, it's only to address the symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't solve the root cause. You need to go at the root cause. And for people who are skeptical, I will just show them that, look, you are taking the medication, uh, basically nothing is changing, or maybe just the symptom are disappearing, but you're still in that state and you cannot take the medication for the rest of your life. Maybe what you can do is just try. Just
Mm-hmm.
try. Maybe you will not, because I will not gonna tell them, okay, you will not eat meat for the rest of your life. I will just tell them, okay, just try that for uh, a month, maximum 2 months. Just
Yeah.
try and see how it goes. And if you see that there's no change, then you can continue to eat the way you eat. But I
Mm,
promise you
yeah.
that you will find a lot of changes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you hope to achieve next in your mission to promoting the plant-based nutrition and wellness?
Yeah. So for me, what I would like to do is to reach as many people as possible
Yeah.
because really it's saddened me a lot. It makes me really, really sad to see my brothers and sisters being sick. Because what we've been told is that when you grow older, you need to be sick. That's what we've been told. You need to
Yeah.
be sick. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But in my experience, that's not the case because when I started this process, I was 46, today I'm 54, and my health is getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I just wanted to I would like people to know that it's possible to live a disease-free life. You don't have to be sick. Being sick is a choice. And that's really my mission, to try and really drive that message to people, that they can take their health in their own hands and they will be able to lose weight and live a disease-free life. It's possible. It's not impossible.
So do you have any upcoming projects or anything you're working on now?
For the time being, what I'm doing is that I still want to reach as many people as possible. But in the future, what I would like to do is to open a retreat center where people will be able to come, and I will be able to educate them, because a lot of people, when they're at home, it's difficult for them to put all this process into practice. But when they are away from their home, they are together with like-minded people, then it will be possible for them to see what is possible. So in the future, that's what I would like to do, to open a retreat center.
That's beautiful. What are you grateful for?
What I'm grateful for is the knowledge that I've been able to get from this plant-based nutrition. Because when I see a lot of people getting sick, or I see when I go to the supermarket, I see people, for example, in his entire trolley, or his or her entire trolley, you will see only processed food. And I feel really, really sad for these people, because they don't know that they are making themselves sick, and people will tell them, no, it's maybe your genes and stuff like that. But a lot of people, they really, really don't know that the majority of diseases are created by what we eat. And I'm really, really grateful for the knowledge that I've been able to uncover. And sometimes I even ask myself, what have I done to be able to know all these things? And like I've said, past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day. And I'm really, really grateful for that.
Oh, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. If my listeners want to reach out to you, be part of your program, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so if they want to get in touch with me, what they will have to do is, first of all, I would like to give your listeners or your viewers my 7 tips to lose weight. That's the exact same 7 tips that I've used myself to lose all this weight. And I will give them free of charge. So I will just give you the link. So you will be able to put that in the show notes, so that they can download that for free. And as well, I would like, for people who are interested, I've written a book, which is the plant-based nutrition, how it's going to change your life. So they will be able to get that on Amazon, or if they go on my website, they will be able to buy it cheaper. And they will also be able to have 4 bonuses, just because I would like to help them. And for people who would like to dive deeper, they can go on my, they can book a discovery call with me. And on the discovery call, we'll be able to explore their goals, their priority, and their health concern. We're going to discuss their diet history and have a look at their current lifestyle, including their routines, their habits. And we will also going to work together to identify any limitations and change them so that we can create a plan of action to overcome all these limitations and set them on the path toward achieving a short and long-term goals. And also during this call, we're going to establish if there's a good fit. If that's the case, then we'll be able to, there will be an opportunity to work together so that we can fix all these issues that have been troubling them for a long time. And we're going to sort that once and for all. So that's how people can reach me, and they can go as well on my website, which is oliviermankondo.com. That's oliviermankondo.com.
oliviermankondo.com.
Yes.
Okay. I'll make sure to have those in the show notes so that we can definitely, if anyone's interested, they can reach out to you. Final words, final thoughts?
Yes, what I would like to say to people is that when we are born on this earth, the most important thing that we have, it's our body. It's our temple, and we've only got one. So we need to make sure that we do everything we can to have a good health so that we can live a longer and fruitful life. And people need to understand that they are the master of their life and they've got the power to change whatever they want.
Ooh, that's a gem right there, Olivier. That's a gem right there. You dropping gems. You dropping gems.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you. I thank you. And as we wrap up today's episode with Olivier Mankondo, we're reminded of the profound impact that dietary choices can have on our well-being. With Olivier's journey from struggling with chronic health issues to achieving optimal health, it's not just inspiring, it's a testament to the transformative power of plant-based nutrition. Olivier has dedicated himself to sharing his life-changing knowledge with the world, helping countless individuals regain their health and vitality. So listen, don't forget that Olivier is available for media appearances, interviews, and speaking engagements. He also provides counseling for those ready to make positive dietary and lifestyle changes. Thank you for tuning in to Sheila's Take. If you love this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. As always, stay curious, stay inspired. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, remember to embrace the journey, build lasting connections, and step boldly into all that life has in store for you. I'm your host, Sheila Dunbar. Blessings to you.